This is it, people. This is what you've been waiting for. This is Everyday Celebrity Podcast. The podcast for everyday people with everyday problems, trying to find everyday solutions to accomplish everyday goals. Let's start the show. Welcome to another episode of Everyday Celebrity Podcast, number one podcast in Oakland, and number one podcast in the Bay Area. And today we are graced with a songstress, up-and-coming artist in the Bay Area. Talk about her life like we always do. Welcome NiNi Hart to the show.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here. And yeah.
How was your day today?
It was good. I just got back from some family stuff and just kind of like getting my energy right to be here today because I don't really like doing things when my energy's off. So I was like, let me just kind of take a chill day. Woke up from a nap. It was good.
Did you smoke today?
Yes, I smoke every day.
Yeah, I get that little high vibe from you.
Yeah, I'm a stoner since I've been able to smoke pretty much.
Since when? Like a child?
No, like 18. I started at the legal age. Yeah, but since then, I have anxiety and stuff, so I'm a big advocate on using it for like medicine. Mm-hmm. So I use it a lot for my mental health personally. So that's why I always do a little extra sometimes. It's fun.
Are you originally from Oakland?
I'm not
the Bay Area?
Yeah, I'm from the Bay Area in general. I've lived in Richmond when I started my music career, doing performances and modeling and all that for a couple of years, and moved out to Sac. I'm originally from, like, I guess you could say the North Bay, but it's like wine country area. That's where I went to school and stuff. And then my adult years have been mostly out here in the East Bay.
Sac is considered the North Bay?
No, Sac is just where I went after I moved to Richmond, and then I've been out here ever since. So, yeah.
Okay. When did you move to Richmond?
It was 2018, I believe. Yeah, 2018 is when I started hardcore, like, performing and taking my music seriously and creating like a circle and a network. Yeah.
Growing up, right? You said you didn't start music till you were in 2018?
No, that's like when I started taking it seriously. Performing. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Like, but you always been like into music?
Yeah, I started as an artist in 2015, but I've been doing music since I was 8. I started in a music camp, actually. It was called I'm forgetting. Camp Fame. It was called Camp Fame. So I did that for a lot of the years of my life. It was a family friend who just did a music camp. And
what was that like?
It was cool. I learned a bunch of stuff there. I learned how to play piano and guitar, so that I'm like intermediate beginner level in those, and pretty much self-taught. And I learned how to write music there. And pretty much the basics of
like weird shit going on. You know, those camps and, like, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, looking back at it now, it's like I hear some stuff, but my experience was cool. And I mean, honestly, I was the girl with all the little boyfriends. So like all the camp's director's son and like his cousin and stuff. I was just like, oh, you're my little boyfriend. Yeah. So
where did you spend your childhood?
Where did I spend my childhood? Honestly, all over the place. My parents separated when I was really young, around 4. And so, long story short, I went to Boston with my mom for a couple years. It was a whole thing. And then I came back and for, I think, like 5 years of my life, I was like going back and forth to Boston every summer and stuff. And then that kind of changed, and then pretty much everywhere I've been is basically like depending on where my parents been. So I've been mostly around like the Bay Area with my dad a lot, but my mom's lived in like LA and Oregon, and so those are other places I've been.
When your parents got divorced, you said you were 5?
I was like, 4 or 5.
So you didn't really know what was going on?
No, not at all. I was already like kind of just, I don't know, even now as a person, I would say my personality is kind of I don't really know a better way to say this, but oblivious, I guess. Like, I kind of just am here.
You're like a valley white girl.
Yeah, kind of. Sometimes. But I've gotten a lot better at like being street smart and knowing my surroundings and what's going on and stuff. But definitely when I was younger, I was just kind of like, da 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 da.
How about when you were getting older? Did it affect you? Like traveling back and forth from parent to parent?
I mean, yeah, I just always thought of it as vacation though. So it was like, oh, I'm going on vacation. I'm going to see my mom. I get to go to these places. And my parents were kind of good about treating it like that too. We always like went out and did a bunch of stuff whenever I saw them. But it didn't really honestly start like affecting me in like a negative sense till I got into high school and was really like able to realize like everything that was going on. That's like pretty much when I stopped kind of being so oblivious to the world, and I was like, oh, okay, everything's not all glitz and glam.
What was going on in high school that was?
I was just having a hard time finding my identity. A black girl growing up in Marin, and I'm light skinned, and all my siblings are dark skinned, so it was kind of like, even growing up in Santa Rosa and stuff, it was, people always asked if I was adopted and stuff like that, and it's like, no. And then they saw my mom, and it made sense because she's half, but I look like her. So
your mom is half white, half
black?
Oh,
so okay. I look like her, but it was just hard because I grew up in Marin County during high school. I went to Novato High and did the Marin Arts program and stuff, but really music and sports are what really saved me because I didn't really know the best crowds to hang with and stuff. I found like good people and stuff eventually, but it was just like weird scenes and kids not really into the greatest stuff out there. So it was like definitely a lot of finding myself and just like being okay with myself too. I'd feel like I wasn't good enough and stuff because I was black, or that I need to like change myself. There was like years I like straightened my hair and like acted and talked a certain way and just like all that kind of stuff. Just that I realize now affected me so much, and that really affected a lot of different aspects of my life. Just coming from a divided family and then going through my whole life feeling like divided almost in society. So those kind of things kind of connected.
Did you think you had like depression?
Yeah, definitely. I've been diagnosed with it, but
you were diagnosed.
Yeah, in college, but that's like when I definitely started to notice, like, that's like why I was like, oh, I'm starting to like realize the world is not all glitz and glam. Like having like realizations about real world stuff, and I think that just comes with growing up too. But I'm definitely predisposed to mental illness in my family because of my parents and stuff. So I definitely just took that serious, especially after high school when I realized all that stuff going on. And yeah, so I have depression, anxiety, but
what year did you graduate?
2016.
And what did you do after high school?
I actually got almost a full ride scholarship for track and academics at Concordia University, Irvine, down in Southern Cal. And I went there for a semester. And actually, that's like when I got diagnosed and my depression got really bad and everything. So I moved back up here.
Wait.
Yeah.
Let's stay on your college. Your college life right now.
It still is college. I just came back to the JC up here. Yeah.
So your depression got worse when you went to college in Southern California.
Yeah. At that time, my mom was just living down there, and then she moved up to Portland. So I didn't really have like a support system around me. And I really felt that down there. And then I had all this pressure to like keep my scholarship and do good in sports. And then things just weren't working out with my clearance or something to start running. I forget what it was now, but it was all just like really discouraging. And it took a lot.
In college, usually people, like, it's the opposite. You know how when you're in high school, like the cool jocks are the popular people, but in college, it's like a reverse. Like the nerds are the ones that get all the girls.
Yeah, that's true.
Because they're like all the smart kids get all the bitches, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Was it hard for you? You said it was harder. Was it harder for you? It wasn't easy for you to find like a group in college?
No, it was.
I feel like everyone is more like cliquey.
Yeah, it was really cliquey.
But it's a good cliquey though. You know what I'm saying?
No,
it's not like high school where don't sit at my table.
It was like high school where I went. It was a Christian school, or it was a faith-based school. I forget exactly what school.
So that's where you fucked up.
But yeah, I mean, it was cool, but it was just like there was literally like this thing where girls would literally try to find their husbands by like the first year, and just like stuff like that, and people's whole focus and stuff. And it was really just like that LA media thing. Like everyone was like going after that lifestyle, and a lot of it was weird because most of those people weren't even from there. It was like people from out of state, and they're just like, I want to be this image. And it was
the only reason you went there is because of the full ride, or
okay. Yeah, I got a really big scholarship, so I was like, oh, nice. It was super nice school though. I like kind of wish I would have got myself in a better place to stay there, looking back at it, but everything happens for a reason. But.
So what was the deciding factor for you to leave?
I just came home from winter break and really couldn't imagine myself like going through another full semester of like the mental stuff and no support like I was going through. It was just like a lot for me. But I mean, realistically, I didn't really have that coming back home either. So, but
so when did you leave?
It was 2017.
2017?
Yeah, 2016.
And you came back to the Bay Area. Where exactly were you located?
I was still in Marin at that time. Yeah, I'm in Novato with my dad. That's where he lived. So
you're just continuing school here?
Yeah, I went to the JC in Petaluma, older campus in Petaluma. It was the Santa Rosa JC. And then I was actually doing, music has always been like a big part of my life. So I was doing music therapy, and then I changed that to just wanting to be majoring in psychology and figuring out what I wanted to do with that. And kind of switched that around a bunch. And now I'm a preschool teacher, so I work with kids and stuff. So I eventually like figured out my schooling to like work with what I want to do, but it took me a couple tries.
Did you lose your love for athletics?
No, it's definitely not the same. It was just I wasn't the person who could deal with that pressure and like putting that physical strain on my body and stuff with the running and stuff. I was really good. I still have the #1 record in Novato for the 400 and the 200. So that's cool. But yeah, it was just a lot of pressure that I couldn't hold myself up to physically, and all the training and stuff was just a lot, and I don't enjoy it the same way I enjoy music. So that kind of push is like different for me. I would like pushing myself in like the sense of music. I would be like, okay, I'd do this every day, like stay up day and night type stuff. But I just got to a point where I couldn't see myself doing that with sports anymore. I did basketball for a little while and stuff, and that was like fun. I was always told I was too short, so I never took it serious. But
so you say you're a preschool teacher now. That's a big 180.
Yeah. I started working with kids. Actually, when I moved out to Sacramento, I started, like I said, my music in 2015, and then I moved out and actually started performing and doing everything out in like Richmond 2018. And then I actually started teaching right before the pandemic happened, so it was like February 2020 and then March happened.
Yeah.
And so that was really interesting. I really got to experience teaching kids in a different way and like being around them in a different way. So that was really cool.
What's the age of these kids?
I've taught like a very big age range. The age range I was talking about was like elementary school, so they were kindergarten, first grade was the group I had starting out, and then I transitioned into second, third grade. Realized that wasn't really for me, and also I wanted to move back here to the Bay Area, so I moved back to Sonoma County with my family after living in Sacramento. And that's when I really started doing music out in Oakland and everything more, and being out here. I didn't really feel like I wanted to live out here, but it was always like a place that I wanted to come and build community and network and everything.
Are you one of those people? I mean, you're a teacher, obviously.
Yeah.
But are you one of those people who says, I believe the children are the future? Because I don't.
I do. I mean,
think these kids are fucked up.
They are, but that's why they need more guidance. I feel they
don't listen to guidance. That's why they're fucked up.
I mean, yeah, definitely. I think it's my honest opinion is because the generation that's raising the generation now is like
their kids themselves.
Yeah, their kids themselves. They're either like our age or a little bit older or whatever. They haven't fully matured or like come into this world has changed so fast in just a short amount of time. So it's really hard for people to adapt and like become adults and really have this mindset when things are changing so fast. And one day you feel like you're caught up and you're like, oh, okay, I got this. And then it's like things are changing the next day. What it feels like, at least.
I was having a conversation with one of my friends, and we were talking about kids these days. And then we were talking about the generation that's growing up now. The generation that's going to come after them are not even going to know what like actual money feels like. Because I believe like the actual paper currency is not going to exist. Like it's barely out there now because kids don't know this. This is why a lot of kids don't value money, because when I was growing up, like to have $100 bill was like the shit, and yeah, it would you would hold on to that $100 bill until you couldn't hold on to them. When you go into a store, oh, I got to buy this. I want to buy this shirt, but I got this $100 bill. I don't feel like breaking it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just the fact that you have $100 bill. And then nowadays, these kids, all they know is like the phone. You just tap your phone and shit like that. So a lot of kids don't really value money because they don't physically have it passing through their hands. And that's just an example of a lot of things that kids don't value now that were like crazy to us growing up.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing is that, exactly. Like the world is changing, so they don't value the same things. They're not raised the same way. They don't have the same things that we did. So their values and their thinking and everything's just different. And I feel like the generation who's raising them, they're so used to how they were raised too. So it's like totally new for them. I feel like it's a whole like transition time, honestly, right now. And I feel like we'll be okay. I feel like taking the classes that I took has really taught me how to deal with these, especially nowadays, even the difficult ones, because they are so smart and they are so advanced. They have access to all this different information and technology. So you have to kind of guide them now.
I think that makes them dumber. Like we had to figure out how to get to point A to point B. You know what I'm saying? Now you can just go on your phone. Oh,
Yeah.
The phone tells you. We had to, in math,
Yep.
we didn't have phones in math, calculators and shit. We had to figure out them problems in your head.
So different.
Fucking, what else?
They literally have schools now.
A whole bunch of shit.
Yeah, they literally
talking to people with different languages. You have to figure that shit out.
They literally have schools now where they do stuff like the normal way, but they call it Waldorf. So it's like no electronics and stuff. Like kids just have to like learn with books and paper and stuff. And that's like seem like it's crazy. I'm like, what?
You don't have kids, do you?
Not yet. I want to soon. And I mean, I've always wanted kids, but it's just about when timing's right. But now I don't have kids.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
You're not one of those.
Not in a rush. Yeah. Not in a rush.
So speaking about kids, right, and talking about how they're raised, music is a big factor in the way these the youth acts now. Where did and you do music? Where did your name come from? NiNi
Hart. My name, I came up with it. NiNi's my nickname from when I'm from Nia. Growing up, I was called NiNi, so I just kind of took that and adopted it. And then Heart is because I literally give my heart and soul to everything and everyone that I meet and come across and all my interactions. And I really try to give my best and my all to everything that I do. So yeah, that's why I came up with NiNi Hart. My goal is to spread love and positivity through my music. So yeah, that's what that's what your music mostly is about. Yeah, just having a good time. Not everything's like I talk about real life and my mental health and everything. So not everything's like, oh yeah, everything super positive, but it all has a positive take on it. I do feel like in all my rap and everything, because I do hip hop R&B, so like all my like more rap stuff, it's more about like having a good time and the feel and creating memories. And like I have the song Get Down. It's literally about getting down, having fun. Like let's have a good time. Yeah. So you said you started to take it seriously in 2018, yes? Yeah, that's when why, what was the reason for the mental change? Before that, I was just kind of recording in my friend's studio, and I did a couple shows with them. We were kind of like a collective before, but it wasn't really like equally spread for everyone to like be a part of it and get what they need out of it, I feel like. But overall, like there wasn't a I don't know, there wasn't like something happened like, oh, someone told you like, oh, you need to take this seriously, or did you get approached by somebody who was like top notch? Overall, I just saw how people responded to my music and my performances and stuff. My ex's mom actually started doing events during the summer. She did like this market, the summer market for Richmond at the skate. I'm like forgetting now. It was like at the skate park by the marina or something like that. But it was a cool thing. But I just saw how people responded, and then even after that, I started getting people reaching out to me and like asking me to do shows, and I was like, oh wow, like I can like actually do this. I just like thought it'd be cool. And then pretty soon I was doing shows like almost every weekend, and then that's honestly just like continued up until now. I'm taking a little break to kind of focus on getting more of my music out and more of my music videos done and everything. But yeah, it kind of just was a click that, oh wow, people actually see what I do and they like it. Yeah. Your music, you said you're a part of a collective? Yeah, so it's me, Lejean Hawkins, who I have in the back here, and then Lady Sneak and Double D the College Kid. We are AMG Authentics music group. We all work together to create that. It's actually Authentics is Lejean's production tag. So we went off that with all of us because he's the main one who does like the mixing and mastering. He does production, mostly of all his own stuff, but he helps everyone in our collective out a lot too. And me specifically is why I have a lot of my recent stuff out now. So yeah. How many projects do you have out? I can count real fast. I honestly don't.
Is that many?
No, it's not that many. I just don't remember because it's been kind of spread out through the years, and I forget what I actually released and didn't. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then I'm working on.
You have 9 like albums?
9 singles.
Oh, 9 singles.
Yeah, I'm working on.
But not a whole album.
I'm working on it right now. Well, it's not going to be a full album. It's going to be a EP to see how that does before I do my full album. But
why haven't you put out a full project yet?
I don't feel like I have the full like marketing and everything that I want like behind me to really push it and get it out there. I'm still even like trying to do that with my singles right now. So I don't want to put all this energy into a project and writing these songs and stuff to not really get the views and kind of the, what's the word I'm looking for? Effect that I want.
What effect do you want?
I want
millions of like streams or something?
I mean, yeah, at the end of the day, I want it to really affect people. Like I want not just for the streams and stuff, but like really to people to be like, wow, I like relate to this and like really have my personal sound down and compact. So like when people listen to it, they're like, oh yeah, that's NiNi Hart type thing. So it's more about I want to develop myself. So I'm like ready for that. And it can be appreciated the right way.
Are you scared of failure?
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like.
I am for sure. Because, I mean, at this point, with the project I'm doing now, it's coming to a point where I just have to get it out because I've been holding on to this music for so long. I just have to, okay, it's now it's time to just let these songs go. What else can I develop? What else can I write? And just...
Are you mentally strong enough to take criticism? Like if someone says your shit is whack?
Yeah, I've had a lot of that.
You're not going to like cry in the corner and be like, I'm quitting?
No, I've had a lot of that. It's been... I am a sensitive person. I will get in my feelings for sure and maybe get my feelings hurt. But I'm also at a place in my career. I've been doing this for 6 years to know that if I haven't made it yet, there's a reason. So if you can tell me something that will make me better or that I can do better, I'll take that advice. And
I mean, there's a shit ton. There's thousands of people who haven't made it.
Yeah.
That are talented. You know what I'm saying? Not
That's
everyone.
true.
It's like basketball. There's a whole bunch of people who are good at basketball, but there's only like...
Well, when I say
a few hundred people in the NBA. You know
when I say made it, I don't really mean like being famous. I just mean like being able to actually have a career out of your music. Like you're making a good amount of money off your streams and you're maybe touring or doing shows and getting paid for it. Like that's what I'm not looking to be famous. Like I don't want to be like on the billboards and the magazines, the main talk, it'd be cool to have my songs streaming on the radio and all that kind of thing, but I'm not...
You want to be known, but not like a celebrity.
Yeah, I'm not really looking to make it like that. Making it to me is just being able to have some type of like income or saying like, oh, my music is my actual career.
What was the first song that you put out to like officially to the world?
All Talk No Play. That's the first song I wrote with my friend and recorded, and everyone really liked it. It was like the song that I got like the most feedback on, I think, that made me really want to start music.
What was it about?
Honestly, it was about when I was messing with this guy, and he was... Every time we would be on the phone and be like, oh, I can't wait to see you. I'm going to do this and this. I can't wait to hug you and kiss you and like all this like stuff.
He was running game on
you.
he
was running game on me pretty much. And then every time I saw him, it was like, oh, you're here? like...
Does he know the song is about him?
Yeah. I told him. I'm just like... I write all my songs off of real experiences, so I tell people, I'm like, probably everyone in my life is going to get a song or two, honestly, but...
Do you find it hard to create music? Like, or does it take you a long time to write a song?
Not really. I can write a song, probably, like a full song in probably about like 20-30 minutes if I really like just sat down and like put my mind to it. But I don't like to force my creativity. I like things to like feel natural and stuff. So it might take me a while just based off the fact that it doesn't feel right, or I don't feel like I've experienced what I need to write the song yet, type of thing.
Is it easier for you to write a song when you have a specific subject to talk about?
Yeah, definitely. If I have a subject in a story, I can kind of like think back into my life or experiences or whatever and kind of write based off that.
No, I see you moving and shaking with like Kelda and Albino, baby. Are those like your homegirls?
Yeah, Kelda is the main one who got me into the East Bay scene out here. I did a show at Soundwave Studios and December of 2022. Yeah, 2022, I believe it was. And I met her and Bino and a couple other people for the first time.
Yeah.
And she was like, actually, no. I didn't meet her that night. I met people who knew her in her circle. And what happened was they were going to her music video, which was the next couple days after I did that show. And so I came along with them and ended up meeting her and getting her contact information. I haven't met a lot of female artists at that point when I started doing my music and everything. So I was like, it's really cool to meet a female artist. I really want to connect. And it was just really genuine. We had a really cool conversation and just kept in touch ever since then. She started getting me modeling and I was like, oh, I know these people. And we just connected.
Yeah, that's rare.
Yeah.
For a female to look out there other females
exactly.
in that industry. Why do you think that is? Why do you think females don't like big up other females or try to help them out and shit like that?
Because everything is competition, I feel like, to females or to a lot of females. Growing up, I feel like women are put into a place where we're in competition for a lot of the things that we do, or attention, or especially in our families too. So when people get out into the world, they still have that kind of same energy, and there's just a lot of unhealed people like going around just living life. So I feel like that's what it is.
You believe in women empowerment?
I do. If I don't know, that's hard because a lot of women have a victim mentality. So I'm not going to put you on a pedestal because you feel like a victim. I was raised by someone like that. Yeah. So as much as I love women, I'm all for women. I'm like love women empowerment and stuff. But at the same time, I know I say this with everyone. People are people. They're going to help themselves or they're not. So at the end of the day, if people want to be stuck in that mentality or woe is me, or always coming up with the reasons why something's wrong or something's bad, or not looking for solutions, then I'm kind of on to the next. Yeah.
How do you feel about women who like the female rappers of today, right? You have the City Girls, the Sexy Reds, the Nickies. But one thing in common with them, right, is it's a lot of sex.
Yeah.
Talking about sex, fucking, shit like that, right? Do you feel like that's something that women have to do to gain attention? Because Rhapsody, you know who Rhapsody is?
Yeah.
She's one of like the most lyrical females, but she's not one of the most popular females because you don't see her with her tits out and ass out and shit like that, right? But you see all these other girls that literally don't have no talent at all, making millions, that are on covers of everything, right? And they're the ones with their ass and titties out. So how do you feel, or do you think that's something that women need to do?
I really don't. I feel like, I get it because it's from their stance, it's like if men can do it, we can do it too. But I don't even feel like you need to go to that level. It's kind of like they they went low, you're going to their level, like at that same type of thing. It's like we can improve ourselves in so many other ways by being like dope lyricists and speaking about real stuff and making real change and impacting communities. It's not what the media and what they're going to push, because I don't really feel like they want that for us to be conscious and like really be influenced like positively by our music. I feel like music is definitely one of those things they kind of use to dumb society down, and I feel like bringing those people up to the forefront is one way that they do it. Like I love Meg Thee Stallion and Nicki Minaj and some Mulatto stuff, but yeah, City Girls and Ice Spice and all that. Like I need a little lyricism in there. I can do with the good time, shaking ass,
some type of substance.
Yeah, I need some type of substance.
Like, girl, you grew up in the fucking Bronx. I know there's something that you went through in life
for real
that you can talk about instead of like popping your ass.
Yeah, I agree.
And it's like a double. It's like a double edged sword, because you could say like you could take a girl who has no talent that looks good and prop her up with the right marketing, and she can become famous as fuck. That can't work on a guy. Like you can't take a guy with no talent that just look good and put him out there in the world. People are gonna be like, "Yo, what the fuck are you talking about?"
Yeah, that's very true.
So it's like it's kind of like a double standard that works in females' favor.
It definitely is, because women have like their sexuality to kind of carry them, as to like men can be hot, but also it's like an intellectual thing. Men, like women think and are like such a different place than men, I feel like. So we almost need more to be stimulated in that way. So it's like, okay, you're cute, but what else? Yeah.
So after your first song that you put out, what was the name of the second one? And how? What was the time frame and from the first to the second?
So I did Exposed. I did that in the same year. That was when I was in Sacramento. I was actually releasing music out there. I wasn't performing, but I was in the studio. Incredible 916. Shouts out to him. He's the one who actually got me into recording stuff to release to old platforms. When I was recording with my friend VJ, is his name. He's the one who originally got me started. We were doing a lot of, it was cool because it got me like thinking and actually like knowing what I was doing and back in the studio again, but we were using just YouTube beats and stuff. So a lot of the stuff was just, I was releasing to SoundCloud, but out in Sac, I got a feel of what it was like to be in a real studio and have real like mixing, mastering sessions and getting a song how I really wanted to like be on all platforms. So I did those, I did 3 songs out there. I'll Talk No Play, Exposed, and Old Me, but Exposed and I'll Talk No Play I released in 2021, a couple months apart. And yeah, that was like my start at really really figuring out what kind of artist I wanted to be. Yeah.
Every artist has their baby, like the album or the song that they just love and took so hard to create and put so much effort and shit. What's your baby?
My baby is Letter to the Lost. I wrote that song. It's actually one of the newer songs I wrote, but it explains and processes so much of what I went through and what I dealt with in my past relationship with my ex and my ex-best friend. And honestly, like, I'm just really proud that I could go through all that and create such a good product and song out of it. And I didn't like go into detail into the song at all, but it was literally enough for me to write it and be like, people are going to relate to this. I didn't want to make it like too personal to where people might be like pinpointing every experience or something and be like, oh, I didn't. So it's kind of like a general And it's a short song too, so I wanted it to kind of be my last like whoosh, oh, I'm letting this go type thing.
Was this nigga abusive or something?
Kind of, yeah. He was mentally,
not physically.
He was physically a little bit. It never got to the point where I was like walking out with like bruises and busted lips and like fearing for my life.
Physical,
yeah, it doesn't matter. I was never like fearing for my life, like because of physically, but yeah, it was physical. So.
And how long were you in that relationship?
6 years.
6 years.
Yeah, that was right out of high school, and
I'm assuming it was you were young and he was an older gentleman.
No, he was my age.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We kind of just trauma bonded over all the stuff we went through and didn't know anything else or want to know anything else. So we just started being okay with really toxic stuff, and it just kind of got worse and worse. And instead of healing and doing better for each other, it kind of just was like, this is just the way it is.
Did someone had to convince you to leave, or you made the decision yourself?
I mean, it was a lot of things. It was like, I always knew it wasn't a good relationship. So going through things like time and time again, and kind of like just going through the daily cycles and having my friends tell me the same things and my family tell me the same things, and like, oh, you shouldn't be with him. And I'm like, oh, it's really not that bad. And then something happens, and then it really is. And it really just broke down to like him. That year he ruined my birthday, and it was my first like out of like, I bought a whole Airbnb in Tahoe for me and my friends, and he like pretty much like ruined the trip and tried to make it all about himself because our birthdays are in the same month. And so I did it in the middle of the month so we could like semi both celebrate ours, and he was just like so convinced that we weren't celebrating his birthday, so he was set out to just like ruin the whole time. And then we came back, he ruined my relationship. I mean, me and my best friend, like looking back at it now, she wasn't always like the greatest like friend to me now, and it was probably something was probably gonna happen, but he ended up being that main force that like broke the camel's back type thing.
Did you sleep with your best friend?
No, he just argued. She's a lesbian, so he just like argued with her and like threatened to like hit her and stuff, and it was like this whole thing in the house. And then her wife started not to like me for some reason. It was like this weird like jealousy thing. I think it was because I was bi and we were best friends, and I don't know. Still to this day. So.
And lesbians are great. They worse than y'all girls keep thinking these lesbians are the ones to go to, but you be in more drama than fucking with niggas.
Honestly, like, I'm bi, but I keep telling people, I'm like, I'm so scared to actually like mess with the girl, because they can know you and know exactly what you've been through and exactly how it feels like as a woman.
And they'll hit you.
Yep. And they'll still do the same shit. They'll still do the same.
First of all, there's more studies on same-sex relationships. Abusive physical relationships outweighs straight relationships, because you're a female and you're another female, right? And
you feel like you can go blow for blow,
just like two gay dudes. Like they feel like they can hit each other because they're both niggas.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
It's like if you're in a relationship with that person, it shouldn't. Yeah, so it just came to that, and after that ended, it was just like the same cycle of waking up, arguing every day, him getting mad about something, going to sleep, again, waking up, immediately arguing every day, like something happening, then going to sleep. Like, it was just a constant. And then there was just one day that a fight happened, and it got a little worse than the other ones. And he ended up punching the wall, but it was like so close to my face. I was just like, I really can't do this anymore. And so I just like went down the street and called my dad, and I was just like, I can't do this anymore. So
never went back?
Nope. I mean, we still talk. We've both done not like that. Not like that. We both done healing on like separate parts. So like
So you're leaving a door open?
No. He's always gonna be someone I care about. And like if he were to die or something, like I would care.
Yeah.
But I never put myself in that position to like be in a relationship or even like sexual with him or like anything like that. Like, yeah.
Now, I always say
No.
when people are going through dark times, that's the best time to create, right? Because the greatest songs, the greatest music are sad songs.
Yeah.
Or during when someone was like high as fuck or going through some type of dark shit in their life, right? Painters, when they're going through dark shit, they create, like Van Gogh. All them paintings that he painted, the nigga was a psychopath.
True.
Right? Basquiat, high as hell, cocaine and crack. That's why he creates those crazy ass pictures that no one understands. So when you were going through all this shit in your 6-year relationship, were you creating music?
I was.
Were you writing poetry? Were you doing anything artistic?
Not till the end. I had always been like doing some type of thing with music. That when I got back from college, and because it didn't start getting like to dark times till like after I got back from college, honestly, because we lived in the car together. But our relationship honestly didn't even start getting bad till like 3 years in. So it was like I was just going through life at that time. But honestly, yeah, when things started to get bad is when I actually went to music, because I was living on the streets and just into crazy stuff, not really like knowing what the heck was going on with my life. And that's when I started recording with my friend VJ, and he was just one day, "You want to come to the studio?" And I was like, sure. And my ex came and was like puppy guarding me like pretty much the whole time throughout like the first couple years of my career, so I couldn't like go too far. But yeah, I was still always creating and writing, and it wasn't necessarily always about what I was going through in the time, but it definitely was an outlet to kind of, because I'll Talk No Play and Expose and stuff, those aren't like sad songs. I had sad songs that I have written and that I haven't released and stuff that like definitely helped me process just writing them. But just going into the process of releasing those, and even though they are like upbeat and like funner songs and stuff, it gave me an outlet to experience more positive stuff in my life. So
you said you were living on the street. How long were you living on the street?
It was on and off for about 2 years. There was one point in time where I moved out of my dad's house. Well, I didn't move out. I just kind of like left one day and didn't come back because I was just tired of dealing with all the family drama I had going on. So I just started sleeping in my car with my ex one night. And
so you were, I don't mean to interrupt you,
No,
but
you're good.
you were homeless by choice?
Yeah, pretty much. I just didn't want to, I wasn't in the healthiest living situation at home, and especially with my stepmom and stuff. She was like mentally abusive and stuff. So I'd also went to college, and none of my space or stuff was kept for me. My dad pretty much like either all moved it or threw all my stuff out, and then gave my side of the room to my stepsister. So when I came back, I didn't really have like a space or a place anyways. I was like kind of feeling displaced already.
Yeah.
So I was just like, why am I feeling like this and staying in this toxic environment? So I kind of just made the decision to go on my own without really having a job or any real plan. So
are you comfortable talking about that 2-year period of being on the street?
Yeah, I just won't go into full details because well, living in the car wasn't so crazy. That was only for like a year, and then my dad was like pretty much, you have to find a place or I'm taking the car away, because he's the one who bought it for me. I was like, I'm pretty sure it was still in his name and all that kind of stuff, so I didn't want to deal with that. We ended up getting a room with my now ex-best friend's parents at the time. It was a weird full circle thing, and that just didn't work out because my ex is kind of an ASS and ruins every situation that we got into living wise.
Yeah.
So we thought our solution was, let's find an RV. And we found this really old RV, but it was so old that it was too old to have in like the actual RV lots and stuff. And we didn't really like think ahead about that and like renting and doing all that. So kind of just parked it on the streets around.
You bought an RV?
Yeah, we bought an RV. It was just one on Sonoma for like $1,000 or whatever. And yeah, we're just living
what
in
were
that.
You guys doing to make money? You say you didn't have a job.
By that time, I ended up getting a job. I worked at, I think, Sprouts. I worked in Petaluma. It was either Sprouts Farmers Market or Rocky Mountain Chocolate Factory.
So there was no like prostitution or anything?
No. I never did anything like that. Luckily, my mom, I can't really like. She did some of that to like get by, but I kind of learned from her mistakes, and I was just like, I'm not doing that. I'd rather.
I mean, I'm not judging. So
no.
Life is life. You know
life is life. I just know personally, I could never do that, and then seeing my mom like having to deal with that or thinking she had to deal with that and all that stuff, it was just a lot. So I personally made that choice not to. Not like I said, like you said, no judgment, but I did like actually have a job and stuff, and then my ex was working at like this paintball range on weekends for kids or whatever, making barely anything and just not wanting to do anything else with his life. So I was like trying to figure out our whole situation, everything, and just trying to work a lot and keep everything together and seeing if we could move or like what. But during that time was honestly like a lot of drugs, a lot of parties.
Yeah. I mean, I was homeless for not for 2 years, but I was homeless for 3 months at one time. And I was, I lost the job, so I couldn't pay rent anymore, lost my apartment. And I wasn't living in a car because I didn't have a car at that time. So I was like I was on a bike. Like what I used to do, I put all my shit in one of my good friends, Vilma, shout out to Vilma, put all my shit in her garage in Hayward, and then I would fucking just get on my bike and then ride around till all night in San Francisco until like the BART opens up, and then go back to her house in Hayward, sneak in her garage, grab some clothes, and then go to like 24-hour fitness to take a shower and shit. Yeah. I was a fly homeless person, but because no one knew I was homeless, because I was like, I stayed clean, stayed looking good, taking showers every day. Clothes were good, so. I
wish I would have done more to like do that. I didn't really like.
But it teaches you a lot. I mean, it's a lot less, and it makes you once you get back on your feet and get like your place, it makes you value it even more, and you're like, I would never go backwards again. So you work even harder to try to maintain your lifestyle.
Yeah, definitely. And that's like the main difference between me and my ex, I feel like, is he was okay with like backsliding and just like life happens, and I'm just like, I know. Like, we had this whole apartment in Sac, and it was just like, why am I the only one paying bills and doing stuff? So
being a woman homeless, that's hard.
No,
I mean, women have, you got the feminine issues. Like, niggas can just be like, oh, I'm just gonna walk outside and piss, and like, I don't need a shower and shit like that. Women, like, it's different when women don't take showers for like 3 weeks. Yeah,
I felt like so dirty. That's why I'm like, I really wish I would have like done the research to like really take care of myself, or like what I could have done at least. But honestly, I was just so caught up in trying to escape my situation, so I was just always like I said, doing drugs or partying or like trying to find a distraction or escape from like what I was going through. Than really like I eventually like I did more, and like we figured out plans and stuff to like get out of that of it, obviously. But I was just a lot of time where I was just like content, honestly, and I was just like, this is cool.
You didn't get addicted to anything, did you?
No, I'm cool now. I never did anything like super hard. It was just like Molly and Xanax, and
So when let's get off that for a minute. So music, right? When you do music, do you find it because you're a woman, obviously, and women are treated differently in the industry, and you're not like deep. I want to say you're not like on the level of like all these like Sierra and all that shit or Rihanna, right? But you're in the industry a little bit. Do you? How is it being a woman when you go to like meetings or when you're trying to negotiate or when you go to studios and shit like that? Do you feel like you get treated fairly? Or do they look at you like just an object?
Sometimes I get treated fairly. A lot of the times, not really. Yeah, I get treated like an object. It's honestly a lot of energy. Dealing with stuff myself as a woman in the industry and not really having like a manager. That's why it is so nice having my like collective and because we have 2 males and then there's 2 females and stuff. So like when we're all together, like doing stuff together, it's kind of like almost a more like validation standpoint of things. But I realize also it has a lot to do with what I allow, because I'm the type of person, like I said, I want to spread love and positivity. My name's NiNi Hart. I like want to be the positive, uplifting, loving person in the room. Like I still want to be like that, but I also know my boundaries and how to protect my energy. And it took me like a while and like a lot of situations and having my boundaries and personal space and that kind of thing overstepped. So it took just me saying, I'm not going to deal with this and I deserve better. And now I feel like I'm kind of in a transition time, honestly, with it, where I'm finding better ways to deal with that. But definitely a lot of times I meet people, they see like how I look. And I mean, a lot of times it's crazy though, because a lot of times when I meet people for music, they'll see me sing or like do whatever before I even like meet them, but they'll still kind of almost like ignore my talent for face value stuff. And it's...
How do you handle situations like that? Like if you get invited to a studio to work with a guy, right? And then he is just trying to like get with you instead of like doing music, would you like in the studio section and exit the room, or are you just going to be like passive and just keep working with him and be like, oh, it's fine?
Honestly, in that situation, I would probably try to like keep trying to redirect the focus back to the music. I'm the type of person where I don't want to be rude or like
you don't like conflict.
Yeah, I don't like conflict. So if I can like redirect, because honestly, I do that a lot with kids, and it's taught me a lot how to deal with like people just in general, because we're all wired in a similar way. And so if I can't like redirect it and it becomes like a situation where I don't feel safe or something, that's like something different. Then, but if it's just he's flirting a little extra or whatever, I'll just try to keep the focus on the music, because like that's what I'm here for. I'm not really into all that extra.
What are you working on currently?
Right now I'm finishing up my EP, the one I was talking about earlier. It's gonna be called Old Knee. So it's gonna be
Old Me?
Old Knee. I have
Old Knee?
Yeah. I
like
have a
my knee hurts.
Old Knee, like NiNi.
old NiNi.
Yeah. Oh. So Old Knee, because I used to go by Knee, just Ni. But I switched out to NiNi, and I had this EP planned out for a while and have the cover art and everything done for it. So,
well, what's the vibe of the EP? Is it like
the vibe of the EP is from where I started to where I am now. So it's going to be a compilation of about 10 songs, starting out with more of like a singer-songwriter feel of more of my acoustic-based music. And then it's going to go more into the stuff I have out now. It's gonna have music that I actually have out now on all platforms on it, but it's gonna have newer stuff too. So it's gonna be kind of everyone's kind of view into who NiNi Hart is.
It's already done?
I'm finishing the last last 2 songs. Yeah.
Okay. From where you started to now, how have you grown as an artist?
I have learned to connect and send my message out to people in a way that really, in the way that I want to, and the way that I intend to, because intentions can be one thing, but then actually living and portraying and putting your intentions out into the world how you want them to be seen is a totally different thing. So I've learned to really encompass my music and have it be a part of myself and bring that into the spaces and people I meet, and being authentic and really being myself and having that confidence. I literally had no confidence when I started in music. I've been doing music since I was 8, but still when I started my first actual show, I did the dance and faked it till I made it type things. But like now it feels like a 180 to me to see, because I actually have confidence. I can look at myself and I can be like, oh yeah, your younger self would be like proud of you type thing. It's really having, like, I'm just really like proud of myself now, honestly, and what I can bring to the table and put out into the world. Like, that's the biggest thing, and gaining confidence and being okay with who I am. Like, it really helped me grow so much as a person. And that's why I love music so much, because it's literally, aside from track or sports or anything else I've done in life, it's not just something I do. It's something that's a part of my life. It's a part of me. Music has always been there. It's never going to leave. Like, I'm never going to stop doing it. Like, no matter how much it takes, like, I know it's never going to physically take as much as it did to make it in track, even to like college level. So it's like, if I can do that, what else can I work towards and put out into the world and really like make a difference? And that kind of thing is like what I'm focused on.
So it's like a confidence thing, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what I've learned, is how to love myself and have confidence. That's the biggest thing.
How do you feel about performing? Are you confident in performing?
Yeah, I'm going through a transition time right now. Like I mentioned, I have been performing for 6 years now. So I had the dancers, and I've had like 20-minute sets, and I've had like the short 5-minute sets, and I'm just realizing I'm at a point in my performances where I love performing and connecting with people and going out and meeting people directly and seeing them face to face. And people don't always stream my music, so getting into those places and people being like, oh wow, I really like your voice, you make good music, and actually seeing me is good. But at the same time, I'm taking a break from it right now, because I don't feel like I've personally been giving myself the time and respect that I want to put into my performances. I kind of just been rushing it. And I mentioned earlier, I've been doing them, like, this is not a brag on myself or anything, but I've literally been performing like almost every weekend for 5 years straight. So it's like, when you're doing shows that much, it's kind of just like, you kind of just do them. You don't really like I didn't really feel like I had time or thought or really help to like put like actual show together, and I wasn't really getting like the recognition or respect from promoters, and not always getting paid for shows and stuff like that. And I really just at a point in my life where, in my career, where I want that to change, and I know what I deserve. And honestly, whether it's a 5-minute set or a 20-minute set, and actually not even what I deserve, what my music and what my audience deserves too. So whether it's a 5 or 20-minute set, I want to have like the dancers, I want to have the choreography or the background screens or like whatever. Because you go to these concerts, you're paying. I mean, like, granted, you're paying like hundreds of dollars for them probably, but they're putting on full experiences. And
Yeah.
I want when people see NiNi Hart, they get that NiNi Hart experience. So yeah.
they have a crazy budget for all
Yeah,
that
they
shit.
do
So like,
too.
you can't compare yourself to like
Well, yeah,
big ass artists.
But that's also why I want to take the time to like curate it more and actually like plan out my shows. And even if it is like, because I do visual design and stuff too. So even if it is like, okay, let me sit down for an hour or two and like make this background graphic that I can put on up while I perform, or have like some of my friends or whatever, I can get together for a couple hours a week and we can practice like dances or like whatever it is. It's like small things that I can do to make it a bigger experience. Not that I'm saying it's going to be on like Chris Brown or Megan level of their touring or even Taylor Swift or like whatever. Not saying like that. Like I have my expectations set at a realistic level, but just saying even still, I don't want to get on stage. I don't sing with my tracks as it is now. I sing with my backgrounds, but I don't just want to like get up there and it just be like me singing, because it's been 6 years. What can I do differently to really get to my goal of where I want to be in music, having people see me and connect with me and my experience and my music? So what can I do differently is what I'm thinking.
Well, speaking of goals, give me where do you want your music career to be in 5 years? And then give me where do you want your personal life to be in 5 years? If you can separate the two.
That's funny because I was asked that when I first started, and that was like 5 years ago. And I think I've actually met a lot of the goals that I wanted to. So I'm going to try to find that review or interview and compare it. But 5 years, about 5 years, I see myself actually having a solid fan base and being able to have shows and pop-ups and that kind of thing, and just being consistently paid for my music. Like that's my main goal, is to, like I said, make it my career. I work with kids and do all that, but like music is like, I always know where my heart is really gonna lie. I don't have to be famous, but I do want to go on tour. I do like have these goals and things that I want to do and that I want to accomplish. So like in 5 years, I see myself have gone on tour, having a legitimate fan base and streams on my music, and having a bigger catalog, just kind of being at the next step in my career is what I see for myself. And then in life, I'll be 31. So I want to have kids and a family and all that too. So I kind of people always judge me and say it's not possible, but I've seen it done. I kind of want to have that like double life almost, where I have like my steady home life and I can raise my kids, but also be able to like do music and do shows and do what I love. But also, I'm also not constricted to that too. I also see myself being, since I love working with kids and stuff, bringing my music back into that, because how I started wanting to do music therapy and stuff, I also see myself maybe bringing my music back into programs, or maybe getting into like programs that already exist, like Hip Hop for Change or things like that, and really getting my music and name out there more by like helping people too.
You're with someone, let's say you're with someone, right? And you guys been together for like, I don't know, 5-6 years. You guys are in love, treats you right. He's like, let's have a child. You obviously say yes because we're in love and blah, 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 and you've been wanting a child.
Yeah.
But then next thing you know, an executive was like, yo, NiNi, we want to sign you. We want to do some things with you. And then you're like, oh, well, I was thinking about starting this family. Which one are you going to choose? And if the executive is like, no, we can't have you pregnant right now. This is a time where you need to be thin, working out. Guys need to want you to sell.
Well,
which one are you going to choose? The family or a music career?
Well, those are like two different things. I would handle those two different ways from the two different things you said. If it wasn't based off, well, if it was based off my pregnancy, I just wouldn't take the deal. Like if I couldn't be pregnant, because I'm a firm believer that kids don't have to stop you from living your life. You can do anything you want and still raise your family and raise your kids. It does take a support system for sure, and it does take like having your community being able to support you, or even having like money to be able to put your kids in the right program so you don't just straight mess them up. But I'm a firm believer that kids don't stop you from living your life and achieving your dreams and your goals. But if it was a deal where it was like I was already pregnant and they're like, oh, you can't have kids, and I'd be like, I would say no to the deal. But vice versa, or otherwise, I should say, I would still take the deal regardless of having a kid. I don't see why I couldn't. I don't know.
Well, my example is either or.
Either or?
Yes, either or.
Oh.
So you're choosing the family.
Well, yeah, if I was already pregnant, if I wasn't
No, you're not pregnant yet.
If I wasn't pregnant yet.
You're in talks with your husband or the guy you're with, and he's like, yeah, let's have a family now. And then you're getting offered a situation in the music industry that's going to boost you up there. But the executives are like, no, we can't have you pregnant at this time.
I mean, honestly, I could see that, because if it was like a big deal where I was like being pushed to be famous or like whatever it was, I wouldn't really want to be going through being pregnant while doing that for the first time anyways. So I'd probably choose the music. But if I was pregnant already, I'd choose my family.
Interesting.
Yeah. But
there's no but. You said it. You're choosing the music.
I'm not going back on anything I said. Okay. I'm just saying,
Well, she said, fuck the family and the husband.
I mean, if the music career is there, it also depends on how good the deal is. I also have in mind like what deals I would sign and stuff. Like I'm not the type of person to sign all my rights and like my life away type of thing.
This is not a deal, but a great opportunity that might get you a deal. That's what I'm saying. Oh. You don't have a deal yet. It's like acting. Like if you get a chance to star in a fucking Kevin Hart movie that's going to be viewed by millions and millions of people, are you going to turn it down even though they don't want to pay you?
I mean, yeah, I'm at a place where it would be cool. Like I've always wanted kids young, and it would be cool. But yeah, I'd want to pursue my music first before because I feel like I could always have kids later. I have.
Oh, that's not true.
No, I mean, I have.
You said you're almost 5 years ago, be 30 something.
31. I have families who have like younger kids in like their late 30s, early 40s, and I don't know. They seem to be fine. They actually, honestly, are doing better than a lot of like the younger families or people having kids in like their late 20s, 30s, because they have their life like all together and they can actually like be settled and like what's it called?
Just say fuck them kids if you really want to say it.
No, I don't. I want kids. I mean, if it was for the right reason, yeah, fuck them kids. But
all right, well, do you want to this is a time where you can promote. I mean, we already talked about like your upcoming album, but you can mention it again, and like if you have any socials you want to say to the world and how people can stream your music, etc. Yeah,
so my socials on all platforms are NiNi Heart, like your heart, not like Kevin Hart is what I say, because they're spelled different. I have music out on all platforms. You can find me on my Instagram and TikTok are NiNi Heart Official, but everything else is just NiNi Heart. And would it be okay for Lejon just to say hi in his socials real fast?
Sure.
Yeah. Lejon, want to say your socials real fast?
I'm gonna be
I talked about it. Yeah, this is my producer and engineer I was talking about earlier. We're a part of AMG, so where can we find you?
Yeah, I'm not just
You have to talk into.
I'm not just an engineer and producer. I'm a singer, producer, sound engineer. I do a lot of our mixing and mastering. But I'm Lejon Hawkins.
Speak closer to the mic, Lejon.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, yeah. So should I do it again or?
Yeah, say all that shit again.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm not just a producer or whatever. I'm actually a sing artist myself. I'm an artist. I'm a singer, producer, sound engineer. I do a lot of our mixing and mastering. And I got a whole catalog of music that I make myself. So
you're basically saying you need your own interview.
Yeah,
not just a little 5-second. You know what I'm saying?
I actually have a lot of work and a lot of music that I put out. Yeah, so you can find me on Instagram or everything else, Lejon Hawkins, which is LAI_JHON Hawkins HAWKINS. That's how you find me on mostly everything. You feel me?
For the record, I did say all of that earlier. Yeah, he's a singer and we started our collective together. You can check out all his music and everything, but I wanted to bring him on because he's a real big reason on why I have music out now and doing what I'm doing now. So props.
Well, NiNi, I want to thank you for coming on Everyday Celebrity Podcast.
Thank you for
sharing your life. You went through a lot of shit.
I do. People don't really realize that. I don't talk about it a lot, but I'm going to put it out in my music and hopefully people can relate.
Well, yeah, I think that's good when you go through a lot of shit and then you take that shit and put it into a song or a poem or a fucking clothing line or I don't know, fighting or a sport or something.
Yeah.
Because it's always going to come out good.
Yeah, last thing I want to say to people is we all go through stuff. It doesn't matter. You can't rank bad to worse or your experience about anything, but it's about what you do with it because everyone goes through stuff. You can think people have the best life ever, but they're going through something. So I sit here in a better place now going through stuff and look at everyone who's listening or on the screen or watching, and I just ask, like, what are you going to do about it? Because that's what I had to tell myself in hard situations is, yeah, I've been through these hard stuff, but what can I do to get out of it? What am I going to do to not be in this anymore, have it last forever? And that was music for me. So,
yeah. And at this moment, right now, everyone thinks Rihanna and A$AP Rocky is just so perfect. But at this moment right now, A$AP Rocky is sitting on that couch looking at Rihanna like, I'm tired of this bitch.
Probably.
And y'all don't know it because y'all just see the glitz and the glamour. But he's literally on the couch right now looking at Rihanna in the kitchen saying, God damn, I'm tired of this bitch. I miss going out partying with my niggas. Probably. Just take that in mind, everybody. Any last words?
Thank you just for having me, and peace and love to everybody out there, and stream NiNi Heart. Yes, get some love and positivity in your day.
This is Everyday Celebrity Podcast, and we are out.
Bye.